And we're going to find out where that manhunt for Travis Decker lies right now. We're about to hear from Chelan County Sheriff Morrison. We're going to hear from the U.S. Marshals Service, Wenatchee Police, and also Border Patrol coming up to this podium. They're coming up right now. Let's take a listen.
45 seconds. All right, we'll get started. Thank you all for coming this evening. My name is Sergeant Joe Eaton with the Wenatchee Police Department. I'm the Detective Sergeant. I'm also a PIO for our agency. This evening, Sheriff Morrison with the Chelan County Sheriff's Office and Chief Jerome Brown with the U.S. Marshals Service will be providing an update on the ongoing investigation involving Travis Decker. At the conclusion of both of their updates, they will be available for about 5 minutes for questions. And with that, I'll welcome Sheriff Morrison.
Thank you, Sergeant. Good afternoon, Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison. Again, appreciate all you being here, paying attention. I want to start off as we have in the past, just making sure that we're remembering why we're here. That's for Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia. Their memories continue to motivate us, continue to inspire our agency to seek justice and be their voice. Our thoughts and prayers go out to their family. We continue to keep in communication with them and make sure that we remind them we have not given up. We've seen the amount of resources that we deployed over the last 10 days, working with our federal, state, and international partners to ensure that justice is brought for their deaths. So again, I appreciate everyone being here. I want to give an update where we're at with our investigation, how our proceedings are going. At this time, the Chelan County Sheriff's Office is going to deviate our resources back to the investigation, working closely with the Chelan County Prosecutor's Office to ensure our case for murder and kidnapping are ready to go, ready to be presented, while our partners with the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol is going to continue to keep their units on the ground, conducting the search, overdoing the search, while we come alongside them. Our U.S. Forest Service deputy is out with them today, also helping them navigate some of our unique terrain over in the west end of our county. So we have not given up, but we understand that eventually resources start to tire out. This is like a fire that we've seen within our county numerous times. We usually see these teams rotating out after 2 weeks. We understand that we've pushed the men and women of our agency hard, along with the men and women of the Washington State Patrol, FBI, U.S. Marshals Service, Rivercom, our dispatch center also being stressed. So we recognize that we need to be reasonable, need to give them the opportunity to rest up and get ready for the second wave when we come in. Clearly, we understand that our investigation has evolved and it has matured, and with that comes a change in situation, which is going to come a change in tactics. You will see a change in our tactics as we proceed forward. You will not see the amount of resources that we have had out there, but you are seeing a different element of our approach as we continue to track down Travis, following leads and making it very clear that every single day Travis is out there, he's going to have to aim for perfection. He's not going to be able to make a mistake, because all we need is one mistake and one day to go in our favor, and he's going to be in our custody. So I hope he's watching. I hope he knows that we haven't given up, but you got to be perfect every single day, Travis. We only have to be perfect one day. So we appreciate the community coming alongside us. We cannot do it without the 80,000 plus citizens of Chelan County that have been a constant eye and vigilant force that we do not have at all times. We also appreciate our partners nationally that have come alongside us, assist us in following up leads. And not only nationally, but we've had partners as far away as Australia and Portugal that have done us the favor of being able to spread Travis's face and likeness throughout the globe to ensure that every single person knows near and far what Travis looks like. When you see him, say something to us. We want to find him. We want to bring him to justice. We want to set up the opportunity for him to stand in front of our courts and our judges and face justice and hear the voices of Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia, whose lives were senselessly taken by evil. That's all it was. We remain committed here at the Chelan County Sheriff's Office with our regional partners, the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, East Wenatchee PD, State Patrol, to continue to pursue justice and make sure their voices are heard. You're going to hear further from our U.S. Marshal partners to kind of elaborate further on how they're going to also assist us in the tracking process. We have not stopped our investigation, and again, we understand that the results from our crime lab processing from the Washington State Patrol, thank you Chief Batiste for your continued assistance on this, are starting to come back. We want to make sure those are properly processed, additional leads and interviews are conducted, and that again, our case is ready to go to court when Travis is brought to justice. So I appreciate your time. I will answer more questions, and I'm going to allow the U.S. Marshals Service to take some further questions from you, the media. But again, I appreciate all of you being here. This is the kind of group effort that's going to take to bring justice to this case. Please make sure you keep their names in your mind and that we bring justice back for those young ladies. girls is what I've understood the family would like me to refer to them as. But they are deeply in our minds, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. Chief Brown with U.S. Marshals Service, Eastern District, Washington. Appreciate everybody being here today. The community support from our law enforcement partners, which the Sheriff has already enumerated, and you as a community has been greatly helpful to us. With that support, we're able to involve ourselves and focus on the fugitive investigation. Part of that is to include deploying our rapidly advancing manhunt program. That program brings resources from all over to include funding to support your community, the Sheriff's Department, Border Patrol, and all the other resources so we can navigate the terrain and locate and apprehend the fugitive. We will not stop. We will keep going. He just has to make one mistake, like the Sheriff said. We will find him. He will be brought to justice so the community can heal. Thank you.
With that, we'll take about 5 minutes for questions for either two.
Has Decker left any physical evidence behind in the areas that you guys have received tips about?
We have found
Indicating that it's him.
We have found items that are of interest to us that perceive that it could be Mr. Decker. We've also continued to follow up with some of his friends and family, and we believe that we're closing in on his trail.
Sheriff Morrison, what can you tell us about yesterday's possible sighting up near the house?
Again, this just emphasizes the importance. If you see something, say something. We're appreciative of those group of hikers that were up there, had more acknowledged us as our flight patterns were up there, and then just the behavior that we saw from the lone hiker did not match. That was typical with everyone else we were seeing up there. So again, that sparked our interest. We did put a ground unit on there to continue tracking the prints that we had. We continue to track that down in Eagles Creek and up in the Valley High area. So again, we appreciate everyone, even on the back trails. You need to remain vigilant, and again, we encourage you not to approach the subject. He is still considered dangerous, but please, we need as much information and help from the public as we can get. As we've seen in the past with other manhunts, it is going to take a group effort in a community in order to bring this to a conclusion.
Today we saw.
Changed from yesterday to today. It seemed like you guys were close yesterday, and everyone was kind of on edge. I'm just wondering, what about those tactics changed today? It seems like you guys have.
No, our tactics have still continued. We still have a ground team on there. We have dogs out there that we're tracking leads. We're going through sightings. We're also doing trackings of what we have found with footprints. So nothing has changed from yesterday. We've just started to head in a different direction. So until that time, our ground units are still on the ground. We still have resources within the Chelan County Sheriff's Office pursuing that, and we'll continue to hunt. Yes, ma'am.
Concerned that he could be going a different direction towards the Tianaway Trail, towards Clay Island?
Absolutely, and I've already been in contact with Kittitas County Sheriff Clay Myers this morning. We know that he has resources on the ground as well. There is nowhere that he's going to be able to go that we don't have units waiting for him. King County Sheriff's Office has already been here assisting us. Snohomish County, been in touch with Okanagan County. We have Douglas County Sheriffs in close contact. They had the Grant County Sheriff today. He is surrounded. Washington State knows who he is. We're going to continue to be in there, and he's got a lot of ground to cover. Eventually he's going to tire and he's going to make a mistake.
How confident are you that that lone hiker you guys spotted is Travis Decker?
We feel pretty confident that it could be him, but again, we're not going to ever go out and say 100% until we have him in our grip.
Sheriff Morrison, when the dogs find Decker, how does that process work after that?
Again, Mr. Decker is going to be able to dictate how this ends. We've encouraged him time and time again to give up, do so peacefully. That's what we're aiming for. But again, Mr. Decker is going to be the one who's going to dictate how this ends. We do not just deploy dogs just to deploy dogs. They're there to assist us in a tracking process and, of course, to protect the handlers. But he's going to be given the same professional courtesy as any other citizen within Washington State or the United States. We're going to follow de-escalation principles that are followed here in Washington State. We're going to communicate. We're going to do contact and cover, maintain our distance. Our intent is not to hurt or injure him. It is to bring him to justice and make sure that he's in good shape so he can face the trial.
Are there any updated?
As far as motive goes?
Nope. And again, I've said it before, I don't think the motive would even matter.
Are
As
there
far
any,
as we see it, 3 young girls have been killed. I don't think the motive is going to matter.
Are there any updated pictures of Decker since the manhunt begun, or any game camera footage or from hikers?
We're continuing to reach out and talk to different residents throughout the Valley High and the Eagles Creek area to see if they do have any cameras mounted in their house. Again, the most recent photos we had is what we've shared, and that was a couple days before he went off grid and, of course, was last seen up the icicle.
Have there been any found supply caches, reported burglaries, and why do you think Decker is now armed?
I don't think any information has been put out that he's armed, but I mean, I certainly feel that he is dangerous. If any of you remember the search that we had about a year and a half, 2 years ago in Kittitas County, we recognized that subject was raiding campgrounds. He had broken into the Liberty grocery store. So again, if you're out there and you notice that you have a vacation home out there or campsite, we want you to keep track of your supplies, of your cabins. If you do have things that are missing, even if it's minor items. In that case, in the previous manhunt, we do know they were just taking a couple items out of coolers, but it was those campers that were attentive and realizing how many supplies they had. This could be a way that he could continue his path out there.
So no biggest challenge right now for you guys?
Terrain. I mean, we have a very unique terrain when you get to the west end of our county. Again, I mentioned it before, 87% of our county is not accessible by road. If you go out there, it's steep terrain. It's heavily wooded. It's not the easiest to access. We have the Pacific Crest Trail, but another unique feature we do have in our favor is that we are a tourist destination. So we have a lot of people out there also recreating on those trails. So we're encouraging them, if you are going to come here, of course, be safe, but help us be those additional eyes and let him know that he has no safe spot to go.
Sheriff, was there a barricaded suspect situation last night on Blue Pass? Was that related to that?
We did get a call of a potential subject that was in a residence up in the Valley High area. Based off the information we got from our sergeant that briefed the administration here, that did not come out to be a valid call. But again, we're going to continue to handle every single lead that we get as a valid complaint.
You said there were new tactics earlier in your statement. Can you share what those are?
New tactics as in searching and or in how we contact people.
Both.
Okay. So, I mean, anyone that had been following Washington state law over here over the last several years, of course, we have Washington state's de-escalate Washington, which was I-940. And of course, it's just how we contact. I mean, we're going to control our pace when we're out there. We're working on contact and cover officers. We've invested heavily, thanks to our county commissioners and other federal partners, with less lethal tools. Again, we're not looking to injure anybody. We just want to take the subject into custody and make sure he stands trial.
And I know there's state, local, and federal agencies. Are you guys working with Canadian agencies as well?
Are you talking about which partners we have? Sorry, getting a little bit of background.
It's okay. Are you guys working with any Canadian agencies?
I did have contact today with some enforcement agents up in Canada. We continue to work with our prosecutor's office on that front. But again, we've appreciated all the assistance we've had internationally and nationally assisting us. I mean, we're a medium-sized agency, and we recognize without the support of our partners federally, state, and locally, we certainly would have a unique challenge that I don't think we'd be able to take on by ourselves. So we're thankful for that.
What was the reasoning for reopening Icicle Road?
Icicle Road was already opened back up. I know the U.S. Forest Service, who's also been one of our partners we've been communicating with, has put out in their press releases that the enchantments is open again. Again, we'd encourage people to be cautious when they're out there. It is a very wide open terrain, and now you have the potential of a subject who is perceived to be dangerous out there as well that's unaccounted for. So come prepared and know that if there's lots of other places here in Washington State you could recreate. Of course, we want you to come here and visit Chelan County, but if you do so, please be careful. We appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Well, there you just heard from Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison, who's giving us the very latest on the search for Travis Decker, sounding very confident and also kind of issuing a warning to Decker, saying all you have to do is make one mistake and we will find you. However, there are very little new details. He said that he has already released the most recent images of Decker, which were taken from before he disappeared. So nothing new on that front.
I mean, honestly, it sounds like, if anything, we know less now. They're saying that the investigation has evolved and matured, but it also sounds like they will be utilizing less local resources, instead bringing in this rapidly advancing manhunt program to expand the resources from different areas, bringing them here. They said they feel the hiker that was spotted could be him. They felt confident about that. They found some items of interest, but other than that, it didn't really seem like they had any strong leads to go off of at this point.
Right. What they're trying to give off is this confidence that they do somehow have him surrounded. How big that circle is, we're not certain at this point. But for all the folks who are waiting for some resolution for this, some peace for the family, as he remains missing right now, they're getting very little satisfaction, let alone the people in that area who have been told to lock up all of their belongings, to be on the lookout, to consider him to be armed and dangerous. And we don't know where he is right now.
And Sheriff Morrison reiterating again, see something, say something, and ultimately repeating once again, Decker will dictate how this ends.
Exactly. Samantha Lemebau, as you saw, was just out there at the scene. She's trying to get more information together right now. We'll check in with her in a little bit, but stay with KIRO 7 as we continue to follow this case every step of the way. You can find updates both on air and also online at KIRO7.com.
Well, breaking now in